Hello, a very good evening, selamat petang. Saya Coach Kiran, host anda pada hari ini. Okay. So kembali kita bersama sekali lagi dalam satu lagi episod Midweek Q&A dan live trade session bersama Coach Kiran. So Midweek Review ni kita akan lakukan setiap hari Rabu. Ya. Setiap hari Rabu kita akan buat Midweek Review dan setiap hari Ahad kita akan buat Monday Market Matters. Untuk kita bincangkan untuk hari ini kita akan bincangkan secara berlanjut apa yang sedang berlaku dalam pasaran selama pertengahan untuk minggu ini daripada hari Isnin sampai hari ini, hari Rabu, dan apa bakal berlaku dalam hari-hari akan datang menjelang ke NFP pada hari Jumaat. Alright, so we are going to be talking about whatever that has happened in the market beginning of this week until Wednesday and moving forward towards the end of the week where we'll have the NFP on Friday. So let's I have prepared, saya ada menyediakan beberapa informasi yang terkini khususnya untuk membincangkan tentang midweek review kita lah. Alright. So midweek review pada 30 hari bulan Oktober. So key development and market insights yang sedang berlaku pada ketika ini, major market drivers untuk minggu ni yang pertama, Bank of Canada. Alright, BOC event dia ada event yang besar di mana Governor Macklem is set to speak multiple times. Dia bercakap pada Oktober 28, 30 dan juga 31 hari bulan. Senior Deputy Governor Rogers will also provide updates. Apa kesan dia pada pasaran? Apa impact dia? These speeches will offer insight to BOC's outlook on inflation, interest rate, economic performance. Market will look for clues about possible rates adjustment in the next policy meeting. Kita sedia maklum bahawasanya about 2 months ago, the US dollar, the Feds, they had a rate cut of 50 basis points, and in fact, when it comes to Bank of Canada, I believe when you have events like this, when the governor himself is speaking, so kita akan dapat clue adakah dalam beberapa hari ataupun di policy meeting yang akan datang kemungkinan besar ada rate adjustment ataupun tidak. So event yang kedua market driver pada minggu ni adalah Australian inflation data. So untuk kuartal 3, kalau kita tengok CPI year of year forecast at 2.3% versus 3.8%. Alright, this data should shape or could shape expectation around Reserve Bank of Australia's interest rate decision which is coming out on November 5th. So kalau kita tengok 5 hari bulan November, RBA punya interest rate decision. Pada masa yang sama, do not forget apa yang kita akan apa yang bakal berlaku pada 5 hari bulan November. 5 hari bulan November juga adalah pilihan raya umum di United States of America, US presidential election. So be aware of this event because it will definitely give some volatility, or it will give volatility to the currency pair that you're trading. In particularly, if like me, I trade gold, it will definitely give an impact. So Eurozone, Kesatuan Eropah juga ada quarter 3 GDP data. France is expected at 0.3 quarter to quarter and 1.0 year to year. Right? Germany on the other hand, market is watching for confirmation of stagnation. So kita sedia maklum recently, recently what happened was, if you know, if you've been following the market lately, there has been a decline in production in the market. So in the US, kita nampak melalui ISM data and juga the PMIs, we are seeing a possibility of the market contracting. In China, most of the parts in Asia, the market is contracting basically. So production tak berapa kuat. So nevertheless, Europe is also facing the music where Germany is indicating the UK, for example, right? Kalau kita tengok di UK, mereka dah pun masuk ke paras under inflation, So they are in a recession technically and also realistically. So Germany market is watching for confirmation of stagnation with GDP expected at negative 0.1. The Eurozone GDP as a whole year to year forecasted at 0.8%. So ini semua market drivers yang akan memberikan kesan kepada currency dan juga commodity yang anda trade, right? So sekarang ni kita tengok the US economic indicator, okay? So as you know, while we are speaking, while I'm doing this video, right, we are already getting some data being announced tonight, okay? Which is in particularly the ADP data on jobs, right? The US economic indicator number 1, okay, kita tengok GDP quarter 3 expected at 3.0 growth, reflecting strong economic momentum. Okay, the core PCE prices at quarter 3, a key inflation metric. Ya, ini adalah satu metrik inflasi yang penting yang mana Federal Reserve akan menggunakan metrik ini, inflation metrik ini untuk membuat policy guidance mereka untuk rate cuts yang akan datang. Right, expected at 2.8%. Tadi saya ada bincang ADP non-farm employment data yang akan keluar pada hari ini. So kalau kita tengok the latest data that is shown on my screen, if you can see, sangat-sangat memberangsangkan. We saw just now, okay, the Eurozone, the Germany unemployment kalau kita tengok the German GDP, kita betul-betul nampak ada stagnation. So forecasted as 0.3, negative 0.3%, but it came up at 0.2. So there is a plus 0.1 over there. So this is, if you ask me, this is not much of a change basically. So I still see the market actually is literally contracting. So kalau kita tengok the ADP non-farm employment change forecasted at 110, but the latest data is showing that there is an increase of non-farm employment in the United States. So this akan definitely give an impact towards the 5th of November presidential election results that are going to be coming out. Okay, so watch out for also the Canadian Bank of Canada, right? The governor is speaking. So kita juga ada PCE price. So kalau kita tengok the GDP quarter to quarter in the US, baru saja 8.5 bila keluar. Okay, they forecasted it at 3.0. Hakikatnya bila keluar, right, it's at 2.8. Kalau kita tengok GDP forecasted at 3.0, so it's at 2.8. So what does it show? Biarpun non-farm employment meningkat, okay, tapi pada masa yang sama production menguncup, right? It's 0.2% reduction of production in the 4th quarter. So moving forward into 2025, I foresee the economy is going to be pretty much slowing down in 2025, right? So consumer confidence expected at 99.2, signaling potential weakening sentiment. Saya baru je cerita. So looking at potential weakening sentiment, right? So, yeah, let's look at this week. Basically, today is Wednesday. Moving forward on Thursday, right? So the core PCE and all, which is going to be coming out. So on Friday, we will have the NFP, which will clearly show, and also the ISM data, that will clearly show where the market is literally heading for the United States. So indicator saya sebagai seorang trader, saya selalu nampak US. So kalau US punya market sedang menguncup, it literally gives an impact to Europe and also throughout the world, especially in Asia. Right? So when we are looking at number 1 just now, okay, tadi kita nampak, okay, the key developments and market insights, okay, major drivers. So selepas kita tengok major drivers, kita juga kena tengok volatility watch. So this is where kita nak tengok activity central bank dan juga PMI release. So Bank of Japan on the 31st of October, which is tomorrow, is expected to maintain its ultra loose monetary policy. So the interest rate kemungkinan besar mereka takkan ubah. They will hold it at 0.25%. Dan kita juga akan dapat, okay, the BOJ is going to give a press conference, policy outlook report that could impact the JPY volatility. So if you are trading yen in particular, watch out for this news when it comes out during the Asian market tomorrow morning. So China manufacturing PMI market will monitor whether the Chinese manufacturing is stabilizing, all right? with PMI forecast at 50.0. A dip below 50 could signal contraction. Saya dah cakap. So when I see, okay, bila China manufacturing PMI, so in US, kita boleh bandingkan dengan ISM punya data, ISM manufacturing data. So one indicator that I look in the ISM data, if the ISM data is showing above 50, even though, let's say the forecast is at, now, let me give you an insight here. So if you see here, the ISM forecasted data for this particular month is 47.5 and also 48.9. Previously, it was 47.2 and 48.3. Where do you see? I just said anything below 50, it's a clear indication that the market is contracting. So if US is already showing a market contraction, I am very, very sure China will follow through. Anything below 50, it will definitely retract on the market. So investors, what they will do? Investors kebiasaannya mereka akan mencari aset yang lebih selamat. Apakah aset yang lebih selamat? Clearly gold. So anda nampak tak kenapa ada correlation di antara contraction of the market, contraction of economies around the world on the manufacturing side of things, where investors now are afraid, there is not much of production, there's not much of output. So where do I keep my money to hedge against inflation, to hedge against the possible downsizing of markets? I might as well invest in gold. So sebab itu gold punya demand semakin tinggi, semakin tinggi, semakin tinggi. So, and looking at back of volatility, obviously this whole week, the highlight event of the whole week is the US non-farm payroll, forecasted at 111,000 jobs added in October versus 245,000 the previous month. The unemployment is expected to remain at 4.1%. Providing key guidance to labor market conditions. I personally would say when you see the ADP results, where the forecast with the ADP, it's exceeding the results of the ADP today, 230-something thousand, exceeding 100+ thousand, which was forecasted. There is a clear indication that the US non-farm payroll this particular week is definitely going to forecast, is definitely going to produce more jobs compared to its forecast. So if I were you, I would definitely look at an angle, look at an area of demand where on the currency and also with commodities, so that I can be ready to sell, against the US dollar. All right, the US dollar most probably will strengthen by end of this week, moving into November, moving into the presidential election. So impacts on market, I see our suggested strategy, what strategies we could use here. So if you're trading Forex, especially the Canadian pairs, will be highly sensitive to the BOC commentary. Volatility is definitely expected around the CAD, the USD CAD, the CAD JPY. So on the Australian pairs could react sharply on post-inflation data. Consider tightening of stops ahead of the CPI release. Be careful when you're trading. Make sure your stop losses are very, very tight. So on the other hand, if you're trading commodities like myself, kalau kita trade gold, so if you are trading gold, definitely in terms of oil, we are definitely going to be looking out for the API and EIA inventory report. A significant build could pressure prices, especially, another one to look out for is gold. So a weak US economy data may support gold prices, while stronger employment figure could weaken its appeal. So in terms of equities, right, if you are trading stocks, the US equity may face headwinds if consumer sentiment or the GDP growth underperforms expectations. However, if the non-farm payroll provides an upside momentum, that means the non-farm payroll compared the received results are better than the forecasted expected results, then definitely we would see volatility for the US dollar. So in conclusion, this week, It's a packed week with economic releases, especially from Canada, the United States, the Eurozone, and central bank commentary, especially in the Q3 of GDP reports. And the inflation data will shape market sentiment. Traders should brace for increase in volatility and monitor events closely, particularly in forex pairs like USD, CAD, AUD, and JPY. Right? So these are the high impact news as we speak as of today. Okay, significant. There are a few key high impact economic events that are going to be happening. So we already had the ADP employment change, and if you would see the Q3 GDP in advance for today. All right, for today, the Q3 GDP, if you see there is a reduction in the figures, pending home sales, we would ought to see the pending home sales at 10 o'clock, and moving forward, that the crude oil data, which is going to be coming out sometime at about 10:30 later today, Malaysian time. All right, so keep a lookout for that. Okay, so moving forward, let's take a look at currencies and see whether are there any trades that we can take, going into the night. Wow. Okay, so we discussed over our midweek review. So when it came, so if you actually look at, I've mapped out the day's performance, on gold, So gold, literally, if you can see, gold has, it has broken the existing. If you can see, gold is above the major resistance today. It has broken key resistance. So as it is, we can see, all right, we can see a consolidation happening, and that's already a potential. So what I can see here, okay, what I will be doing is that I will be monitoring this area closely. So because I'm using a system that incorporates the Ichimoku cloud, I want to see potentially price moving above the clouds for me to take a buy, okay, if I want to be taking a buy trade, right, I must at least make sure price is above the clouds, and that is when I'm going to be taking a trade. But if there is a rejection in this area now here, if price continues to reject this area, okay, and price breaks downwards, then further corrections would take place, definitely. So these are the two key areas that I'm looking at the moment, and yeah, obviously we expected some participation today from because but in fact I'm taking this opportunity to actually record this video and make this available to you by tomorrow, okay, or latest by tonight, for you to view and analyze where you want to put your trades further. So with that, I really thank you. I would not like to take much of your time. I really thank you for the time given and your attention towards this particular episode of Midweek Review. I hope the very best in all of your trades. Okay, I hope you're the very best in all of your trades, and may fortune be on our side. God bless. Coach Kiran signing out. Bye.